there was no dispute over the sovereign claims over those islands and reefs and nearby waters in South China Sea until the mid-1970s. But even ever since the 1970s, when there was some different claims over those islands and reefs, you know that the then Chinese leaders have already proposed that maybe we should take the approach which means that set aside the differences while focus on joint cultivation or joint development. This has been a very wise idea, and for quite a few years, I mean for decades of years, later on, it was also agreed by those relevant countries, relevant parties in this region. That has been a successful approach in our idea. Alongside the development, China and ASEAN countries sat down together and worked out the DOC, which specifically and explicitly said that sovereign disputes could be solved and should be solved by those directly related parties themselves. And also in the DOC, China and all the ASEAN countries have decided that they should work together to cultivate more cooperation that could serve the interests of ourselves. That's no problem. Recent years, because of the so-called rebalancing policy by the United States, you know that you could see some kind of tensions in this region. In recent months, some ASEAN countries also proposed what we call the dual-track approach, which means, on the one hand, those different opinions or disputes over the sovereign claims by relevant parties, those differences should be solved by the directly related parties themselves. On the other hand, China and ASEAN countries should work together to preserve the peace, stability, and prosperity in this region. That also goes in line with the principle and the spirits of DOC.